Hello, everybody. So everybody says that January is the worst month for movies, but if you live in the UK, you get the carryover of the Oscar-nominated movies from the US. So for me, living in the UK, I'm lucky because January is usually a very good month for movies with me. We started off with Assassin's Creed, which was terrible. We moved into Silence and A Monster Calls, which both were great, and now we have La La Land, which is my favorite film of the year so far. I absolutely loved it. Now, the thing with La La Land is I didn't know too much about it, but I knew that it was directed by Damien Chazelle. I've heard all the Oscar buzz about it. I absolutely adore the movie Whiplash. This is a great movie. So I was thinking, hey, his follow-up has to be just as good, right? I know he wrote 10 Cloverfield Lane. I love that movie as well. So I was anticipating La La Land, and I really, really loved it. It's one of those rare times where I watched a movie, I loved it so much that I was watching the movie, I walked out and I was like, I want to go see that again, like straight away, like now. I can't wait to get it on Blu-ray because it's one of those movies I can just sit back and I'll put on any time that I'm feeling down or I want to watch a movie, and I guarantee that I'll enjoy it. So I know I've only seen it the one time, but it was that good. Now the plot will sound very basic, but it's about an actress called Mia, played by Emma Stone, and a piano player, a musician who is played by Ryan Gosling, and both of them are so good in this movie. So they're both very different to start off with, but then they meet and there's this like musical number, and you just the whole time they were on screen together, I just wanted them to live happily and get married because they had such great chemistry. It was like you were watching, a real life couple, meet for the first time on screen, and that was really good. Now the plot basically revolves around whether they can, follow their dreams and their careers without it getting in the way of their relationship and all that sort of stuff. And we get some really, really great music, some great musical numbers. The acting is just so good. This movie has to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. It will be, but if it doesn't get nominated, then that will be a huge, misstep for anyone who's financing this Oscars buzz or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what happens with the Oscars. I just watch it. I know who wins. And there's a song in this movie called City of Stars. They play it a fair few times and they sing it a fair few times, but I really like that song as well. And I liked how they followed different eras of music. So Ryan Gosling's this sort of, he's a traditionalist. He likes to play the old classic piano music, and he gets into a band, but they sort of amp it up with strobe lights and electronic music. And you can see that he doesn't really like it, but he's in the band because he needs to be to follow his dream. And the same thing with Mia, she has her own play that she finances herself, and she acts in. It's a one woman play, and you can sort of tell that is her passion. That's what she wants to do, but she knows she can't just do that. And for both of them, you really want them to just follow their dreams. You want them to succeed, and by the end of the movie, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but it's one of those bittersweet endings where it's like this could have happened in a different way, but what has actually happened is still a good thing. I'm so happy for them, but I wish it had gone a different way and just, you know. So the movie probably will take a different turn from what you're expecting. It's not dark or anything. I'm just saying it's probably going to be a bit different from what you're expecting from the trailers and everything. But all of the music is great. I absolutely loved it. Everything's like completely original. So it's got probably the most original soundtrack I've heard in a movie for a very long time. And I highly recommend everyone go see this movie. I feel like in the UK it's going to get a bit overshadowed because when I went, I watched it about 2:30 yesterday afternoon, and I walked in and the screen was completely empty. I think there were about 5 people in there. Maybe it was just that I didn't go at a peak time, but I feel like this movie will get overlooked, and I want so many more people to go and watch it because it is such a great movie. And Damien Chazelle, I think he really needs like the support because Whiplash, La La Land, they are two movies that are just so perfect. There's just no flaws with either of them. I mean, obviously some people will find flaws with either one, but I watched both of these movies and I walked out and I was thinking, these movies were actually so good and I want to see them again. I want to buy them on Blu-ray. And, this guy just needs support for his movies because he's so good at making them. I want to see more movies like La La Land. I want, because we don't get many musicals nowadays, and this one's not a full-fledged musical. I mean, there's musical numbers in it, and the movie does revolve around music. I sort of felt a bit of a Whiplash vibe to it. It's a completely different movie to Whiplash. I'm not saying like it's similar to Whiplash, but I'm saying it has a bit of that vibe to it. You know, it revolves around music, and the ending, even, it's a different ending. Like, it's got different themes and different meanings to it, but the way it ends in a similar fashion to Whiplash, and it was great. I think maybe that was on purpose, because there's the little touches, and there's the sort of close-up shots of Ryan Gosling's hand when he's playing the piano, like they had with Mars Tello when he's playing the drums. So I can tell that this guy directed both movies, but I like that he made two completely different movies with two similar sort of characters, because it's about, he ultimately writes great movies about people rising from the bottom to the top under almost almost impossible circumstances, and he does it in just the most perfect way. La La Land is a great movie. I really hope it doesn't get overshadowed, and I really hope it wins many, many Oscars. I absolutely loved it. I want to see it again. I can't wait to see it again. I probably will see it again soon, but there's other movies that I need to see. So I'm going to cinema today to watch Manchester by the Sea, which is another one of those big Oscar buzz movies. So I will definitely be talking about that. And I've just started watching Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events on Netflix. I'm a big fan of the book, so I'm looking forward to watching and talking about that. So let me know if you've seen La La Land. What did you think of it? Did you love it as much as me? I've also got to say, I know I came off the subject, but the visuals in this movie are pretty good. You walk in expecting a sort of just a straight up musical romance movie, and it turns out to be a bit of a fantastical visual masterpiece, so I'll just put that in there. But let me know what you think of La La Land, and do you think it deserves all of the Oscar buzz and the Oscars that it will probably win? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.